August the 8th, 2022, armed FBI agents arrived at the home of Donald and Melania Trump, Mar-a-Lago. It was a raid. They were looking for classified documents from Trump's first term. It was deliberate humiliation. For the first time ever, the home of a former president was searched by law enforcement looking for evidence of criminal activity. Turns out the FBI did not want to do it. Newly released emails show they knew they didn't have probable cause for a search warrant, but the word came down from the Justice Department, right from the top, do the raid. The Biden team insisted. They wanted a prosecution. They wanted to humiliate. The FBI searched the former First Lady's underwear drawer. This reveals the depth of the hatred and contempt that Joe Biden felt for Donald Trump. You have to ask, just who is undermining democracy? The Russia hoax, the impeachment drive, the deliberate misuse of the law. He had to sit in court silent while the corrupt New York judiciary called him a low-life crook. None of it worked, and Trump staged an extraordinary political comeback. But it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Biden brought toxic politics into our lives. There were times when he couldn't hold back his contempt. It showed. That Mar-a-Lago raid set off a wave of prosecutions that failed, endless investigations, big legal fees, and a tainted Justice Department. What a waste. What a dive to the bottom from a failed presidency. Second hour of Varney just getting started. Miranda Devine joins us now. Miranda has been all over this story for a long time. Miranda, I can understand President Trump wanting some revenge. I understand him.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, it's not just revenge, it's accountability for the country so that this kind of targeted use of the Department of Justice and the FBI for political purposes never happens again. And we saw, my colleague, actually, Josh Christensen, has an update to that story, which is outrageous enough. But he says that there are emails that Senator Chuck Grassley will be unveiling at some point, which show that there was coordination between the Biden White House, the Merrick Garland Department of Justice, and the National Archives and Records Administration, which was leading the push on trying to get these documents back. And we know that the FBI field office, Washington, D.C. field office head was a guy by the name of Stephen D'Antuono, and he's by no means a Trump lover. He led the January 6 investigations, but he pushed back very hard on the Department of Justice, on the prosecutors, particularly Jay Bratt, who is the prosecutor who was just going hell for leather, wanting to just create this circus, this affront to President Trump, to humiliate him, to make him look like he was a criminal. And Stephen D'Antuono from the FBI said, no, we don't need to do that. Trump's lawyers, attorneys are talking with us, are cooperating. So there's no need to make this fuss. And Jay Bratt went over his head to Christopher Wray and Christopher Wray's deputy of the FBI, Paul Abate, and they overruled the head of the Washington field office. So the FBI was very reluctant in having to join in this raid. It was pushed by the Department of Justice and the Biden White House. And interestingly, at the end of this email conversation between them that went on for several months or several weeks, the White House says, let's take this conversation offline, because they were aware of how incriminating it looked.
It did. It did. Miranda Devine, thanks for all your help with this story. You've been covering it for a long time. We always appreciate that. Merry Christmas, Miranda.
Thanks, Stuart.
It's a thing.
You too.